Hello and good morning. My name is Jonathan Paula, back here on the Movie Night channel after a 3-month hiatus, and I'm excited to talk about the Oscar nominations. But real quick, if you want to catch up on what I've been doing the last 3 months, check out my Letterboxd profile, link in the description below. I may not have been uploading any movie reviews, but I have been writing a lot, over 45 at least, in the last couple months. So check those out if you want to catch up on what I've been watching and what I've been thinking about these movies. And I think I'm going to go through and pick out some of the longer reviews and produce those for some future videos here on YouTube. But in the meantime, let's talk Oscars. Earlier today at 5:18 in the morning Hollywood time, the Oscars officially announced all of the nominees for the 89th Annual Academy Awards. Not a lot of surprises, not a lot of snubs, but there were some in both of those categories, including La La Land's record-tying 14 nominations, which it now shares with Titanic and All About Eve, making it the automatic shoo-in and frontrunner for basically every category. And while I did record a live reaction to me watching the nomination telecast, it just wasn't very interesting, mostly just me blankly staring and making glib commentary for 20 minutes. So instead, today we're going to go through the nominations page, which will allow me more time to talk and sort of share my thoughts in each category. But before we begin, I would like to just issue a disclaimer. I have not yet seen Moonlight, Lion, Fences, or Jackie. I hope to check them out before the February 26th telecast. Certainly for the movies, spoiler alert, that got nominated for Best Picture. But just so I don't have to repeat myself, those are the 4 I haven't seen yet. So we'll start at the bottom of the nominations list with writing for Best Original Screenplay. The big surprise here for me was Lobster, because I did my homework and I thought it came out in 2015, so I skipped it. I didn't think I needed to see it. Turns out I do, so that'll have to go to the top of my watch list. Writing Best Adapted Screenplay, of the 2 I've seen in this category, I really liked Hidden Figures, but Arrival was strong too. And again, I haven't seen the other 3. Best Visual Effects is one of the categories that's close to my heart, because these are the ones I see on opening day in the theater. And of the 4 I've seen, I love Doctor Strange's effects. I saw that in IMAX Laser 3D and it was just... Although, to be fair, The Jungle Book was fantastic, and I would make the argument that the effects in Jungle Book were so good, it deserves to be in the animated category. It unfortunately isn't, because it does have a live action element to it, but that movie was phenomenal in the visual effects one, but still, Doctor Strange a little better. Sound mixing and sound editing, honestly, I still don't entirely understand the difference between these 2 categories, but I feel like it's a toss-up between Hacksaw Ridge or La La Land. Both had really good mixes in their respective elements. La La Land mixed all of the tap dancing, singing, and instruments into this wonderful musical orgy, whereas Hacksaw Ridge is probably the most visceral and intense warlike experience we've seen captured on film since Saving Private Ryan. So that one I think could go either way, but again, because La La Land is nominated for so many categories, it's almost automatically the frontrunner in all of them. Short film live action and short film animated are embarrassingly a bunch of movies I've never heard of, except for Piper, which was the trailer before Finding Dory, and I really loved it. The rest, they're short enough, so maybe I'll make time to check them out, but if I'm being honest, I usually don't. In the production design category, this one is definitely going to be La La Land's victory. I think just the style, the music, the color, everything about that movie was excellent. An awesome throwback to the Gene Kelly musicals of the 1940s and 50s. And quite frankly, it's Hollywood's darling. It's nominated 14 times for a reason. That being said, I love that Hail Caesar's in here. That's a movie that came back out in March, almost a year ago. And usually the Academy forgets movies exist if they weren't released in the last 3 or 4 months of the year. So it's nice to see an older film just make the list, even if it has no chance at winning. Music, Best Original Song, I think more so than in previous years, this one is going to be a really tight race. I loved Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls, Justin Timberlake's upbeat pop number, and I thought Moana's How Far I'll Go was probably the best original Disney song in decades, and I'm including Let It Go from Frozen in that list. That being said, while those are my 2 favorite songs, I think City of Stars from La La Land is probably, and I'm a broken record, La La Wind's gonna win, La La Wind's gonna win. Say that 5 times fast. Music, original score, a few films on here that I haven't, actually most of these I haven't seen. 4 out of 5 I haven't seen yet, so I can't really comment at all, but La La Land had great score, and it's gonna win. If you only have time for one movie this year, just see La La Land and you'll know what everyone's talking about. Makeup and hairstyling, Star Trek Beyond and Suicide Squad. Surprised to see those on the list. And I like Star Trek for this category because I thought the makeup, the costumes, everything in that looked great. Also, it was a good film. Suicide Squad wasn't. Best Foreign Language Film. Another slew of nominees that I am not personally familiar with, but if I have some time, maybe I'll check out the winner, but I probably won't have time to watch all 5 nominees. In the film editing category, this is another one that I think could go either way. I loved La La Land. It mixed a lot of really cool things together, but they also had long shots that don't require editing. So I think for that reason, I'm inclined to side with Hacksaw Ridge, which again had some of the best, most intense battle scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time. Documentary short subject and documentary feature. 10 more films I have not seen. I watched over 370 films last year, and yet the holes of nominees that I haven't seen, you could drive a telecast through. That being said, I'm so glad that the Netflix original Minimalism is not in the documentary feature category, because that is a documentary I saw, and it sucked. And here are your nominees for Best Director. I am so pleased to see Mel Gibson on this list. He's finally out of the doghouse. Unfortunately, he's not yet in the regular house because Damien Chazelle is going to win this in a walk. La La Land got nominated for so many things. It would be just insulting if the most nominated film in Oscars history to not give some of the credit to its director. So he's going to win this. But I'm so glad that Mel is not completely blacklisted anymore. Costume design, a lot of period biopics in this category. I really liked the work in La La Land, and I haven't seen the other 4 movies, so we'll move on. Cinematography, I loved Arrival. Probably the most beautiful film I saw in 2016. Not my favorite, and I think it's a little overrated, but a really excellent film with beautiful visuals. The way they rendered the aliens, the fog, the glass, everything looked exquisite in that picture. For Best Animated Feature Film, we have Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Courgette, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia. I'm disappointed that Finding Dory did not make this list, especially since I have never even heard of the middle picture there, My Life as a Courgette. I haven't seen Kubo or Red Turtle, and I guess I'll have to now because I really like the other 2 I had seen. Actress in a supporting role. Finally, we can end the Oscars So White controversy because 60% of this category is people of color. Way to go, Viola Davis, on her second nomination. I think she might be the frontrunner in this category, but it is a very strong group of women in films I haven't seen yet. Best actor in a supporting role. Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water. A great film, surprisingly so, but I did not watch that and think Jeff Bridges deserves an Oscar. Whereas John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane, he needed to be on this list. This is a big snub for me. And the actress in a leading role, where the hell is Amy Adams? Arrival was the best work she's ever done in her career. She's already been nominated 4 times. I felt for sure this would be the year that she won, and she's not even nominated. Whereas Meryl Streep, you should just bar her from future nominations. Let someone else have a chance. Now for Best Actor in a Leading Role, I'm so surprised and happy to see Viggo Mortensen on this list. My boy, where you been at the last decade? You were great in Captain Fantastic. Some would even say you were excellent. I like Casey Affleck in this category though for 2 reasons. 1, he was the best in the category, but 2, I don't think Ryan Gosling is going to win because historically when a movie gets double-digit nominations, think Titanic, Lord of the Rings, or Ben-Hur, they don't usually win the acting categories. Those are the ones that keep them from the full sweep. Viggo Mortensen didn't win for Lord of the Rings, Kate Winslet didn't win for Titanic, and Charlton Heston didn't win for Ben-Hur. But those movies pretty much ran the table in every other category. So I think Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, they're up against the wall. It's on them for the sweep. La La Land is gonna go like 12 out of 14, and the only 2 it might lose are the acting ones. And for the biggest award in all of cinema, the Best Picture nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. Of the 6 I've seen, I rated all of them an 8 or a 9 out of 10. This is a very deserving bunch of films, but obviously La La Land is going to take it. You can put all your money on that bet right now. La La Land will win Best Picture. Early congrats to Damien Chazelle. That being said, I'm okay with it. I thought it was an excellent film, so I'm on board. I think Hacksaw Ridge is a little better, but I'm cool with it. These movies were all great. But as for my favorite film of the year, it's nowhere to be found in any of these categories, which is unfortunate. But if you'd like to find out what that movie is and my other 9 top movies of 2016, as well as the movies I felt were overrated, underrated, or just the worst of the year, keep an eye out on the Jogwheel channel later this week for my annual retrospective on the best and worst movies of 2016. I wanted to get it out a few weeks ago, it's been delayed, but it will be worth the wait, I promise you that. Until then, let me know your thoughts on all the nominations of the 89th Annual Academy Awards, plenty to talk about, and I love a good discussion, so leave your comments down below. Until next time, that does it for me. Thank you for watching and listening. My name is John. Have a good movie night.